Well, hello there, interwebs, and welcome to this week's edition of Transformer of the Week. It's the last Transformer of the Week of the year, is it not? It is, yes. Next year we'll be still doing Transformer of the Week, and we'll be doing other things as well. It's going to be very exciting, I think. Well, I'm going to find it exciting. Hopefully you will too, enjoying the vibe. Right, this week we're going to look at a big guy. This is Transformers Constructobots movie Dinofire Grimlock. Get that round your head. Constructobots Dinofire Grimlock. Look at this big beast of a bot. So it's a Constructobot. This is something a little different, rather than any of the mainline Transformers. So yeah, so he's a kit. He's a kit that lots of ball joints and C-clip joints that you build together. You build it yourself, and it's quite a fun build. It's quite a fun build. And then you get this in the end of it when you build it. Is this big beefy robot. It's got lots of ball joints, lots of nice movement, and some massive peeps. Some massive feet with these struts to make it, so you can stand up. And what is quite possibly the largest backpack of 2015. Look at that. 2015. Look at my backpack. It's just a dinosaur. It's just a dinosaur on his back. You know what? I don't care. It's just, you look at him from the front and he's kind of, it's there. Oh look, oh, there's a backpack. There's a backpack. He can't spell Dinobot without the word kibble, quite frankly. And he's no exception. So he's just got this big hunk of dino on his back. More of that later. If you look, I like his head sculpt. I don't know if you can make that out. I mean, just this head sculpt is just very. It's like a perfect combination of the movie head, and it's also got a bit of the War Within Grimlock added in it. It's on this very expressive ball joints with his nice baby blue visor. So yeah, he's got a very handsome face. Probably one of the favourite head sculpts of the movie Grimlock I've seen. So in the robot model face. So it also comes with all this other junk. So there's preferred ways where you're supposed to stick it in the. But you don't have to. It's a Constructobot, so you do it your own way. So now let's open this. This huge flame sword. This dino with fire, flamey sword. It's got these missile pods, triple launching missile pods, more on them later. So you just stick them with some points on his shoulders. You can put. It's got these bits of armour, claw armour. The preferred method is to stick him on the dinosaur arms back there, but you don't really get the use of that then in robot mode. So what I like to do is I like to put them up here just to add an extra bit of armour and add more junk to his silhouettes, because why not? Whatever distracts away from that backpack with that, really, in my mind. And you get these swords again. They can store in the back. He also has a little tiny Constructobots prime that comes with him. I'm not doing him today, but. He can wield massive swords, but you can also put these on his dino junk and just having this massive claw hand. Why not? So look, he's absolutely tooled up to the nines. So I think it's just a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun to just have a play around with and see where you can actually clip these things onto. There were a bit. This C-clip joint thing doesn't really work for me. It's just that little bit too. You think everything's sturdy, everything will cut into the point, and then it fools you. I mean, recently that C-clip snapped, so I've super glued it back in place. But it snapped when I was taking it out of his dyno bum where it goes in dinosaur movement mode, and it snapped. So we'll see how that goes on later. But yeah, so the tolerances aren't quite perfect, and that's a bit of a flaw. So anyway, he is a transformer. He does transform. It's very simple. It's Constructobots transform. What you do is let's just swing his head around. What do we do next? we go over to his legs and just sort of flip those joints out of the way. See, with the problem with constructor boxes is that bits like to fall off while you're moving around, because it's designed to fall off. It's designed as a kit, so you know things fall off more so than your common garden transformers. So it sounds quite funky because they flip out that joint and go into that joint, so they're out of the way. So yeah, like a double hinge, so that hinge unclips there, unclips back in there. Now, what's going on here? Move this junk up, unclip, reclip. Is that reclipping? Oh, there you go, clip back into place. And we're almost here. So we're just kind of fiddling his feet around, make his legs fall off. Where's that go? Alright, that clips on up here. So, I'm losing it here. Move his feet like this. Oh, there we go. See what I mean? Stuff just falls off. But it clips back on it. No problem. No problemo, people. Here's a problem, look at that. Just snapped his head off. That's not the ball joint. That's not the ball joint. So that'll see if we back on, but you know, that's another fail with the tolerances of these plastics. I don't know, it was alright last week and now it's just kind of everything's falling apart. Right. We'll carry on, let's carry on. Oh dear me, my days. Right. So that clip's back on now. Clips back in there. And there we have Grimlock in his dinosaur mode. Isn't that fantastic? Now he sometimes has a bit of visible head syndrome, but because his head has snapped off, he doesn't have that today. But he's a romping, stomping, action-packed Grimlock. I mean, the tail is a bit just flat. It's just legs. That's a bit of the problem. But the rest of it, because it is just that big backpack now that forms his main body, and he's got these big stomping feet, he just kind of is lovely like that. Now, like I say, you can put these. I quite like his arms like that, but if you want a proper battle mode him up, you can get a super powered Dinofire T-Rex arms. I can just knock a foot off again. What do these clip on? Clip on in there. Yes, we can have these Dinofire Grimlock hands. Get his rocket launchers again. Pretty much the same place, really. And then he's got some sort of swords. These can go back here, but I think that just interrupts with that too much, so we'll just stick him back on his top of his dino legs like that, because why not? So yeah, so he's this big super powered dino beast. Now he does have a feature in this. This is the Dinofire feature. I think this is probably just worth the admission price alone. So he's got this cogwheel back here, and so you click these, and he eventually, boom, lights up gobs a missile. Reloads, gobs a missile. Reloads, gobs a missile. Isn't that brilliant? And I just love this. That dino face for me is to me, he's got one of the two best head sculpts. If the head sculpt hadn't bloody fallen off, he would have. But yes, lights up, fires missiles, gob gob gob, light, gob gob gob. He's just absolutely brilliant. And then he's obviously got these other turbines for us to see it. Pressure powered, like that. So if you're worried about losing missiles, he's probably not possibly the guy for you. But if you're not, he just shoots and eights all over the place. And that is quite cool. This has been Grimlock. He's now going to go back to repairs. I'm going to use some glue to hopefully stick his head back on. He has been Transformer of the Week. I had a headless Transformer of the Week before? No, I've not. So anyway, join me next time, next year in fact, where we'll be looking at more Transformer of the Week. So we might just change around when we have schedules of shows on. But hand movements, expressions, broken Transformers, and more next year on Transformer of the Week.